This video will review how to create user-defined collections for database agents. You can use the user-defined collections view in the database's administration dashboard to add user-defined collections to all of the currently selected agents in order to provide for queries that are not included in the Foglight database cartridge. After collections are added, this view then displays all of the user-defined collections for all of the agents. For example, if a collection was added to 12 agents during its addition, this view will display 12 rows showing the collection for each agent. This view is also used for configuring the sampling frequency for each collection. The available sampling frequencies are real-time. When a user is currently focusing on a screen, the sampling frequency for all of the collections associated with the screen switches to real-time. Online, when at least one user is connected, the sampling frequency for all of the collections that are not currently running at a real-time frequency switches to online. And offline, when no user is currently connected to the application. The query text field can hold up to 4,096 characters. Any PL SQL functions that are not getting input can be written to by wrapping the PL SQL into a select PL SQL func from dual statement. After adding the requested user-defined collections, they can only be deleted or cloned to other agents. If one or more queries need to be modified, delete them and create a new one. To add user-defined collections, log into the Foglight web console with your Foglight user and click Databases to access the database's dashboard. From the database's dashboard, click the checkbox for the database agent or agents of the same type that you want to configure the user-defined collections on. Click Agent Settings and then Administration. Click on the User-Defined Collections menu item. An informational icon is available to provide more information about this screen. There's also a link available to set the maximum number of retrieved rows. Click the Add button. If the user-defined collections are enabled for a selected agent, then Add a User-Defined Collection dialog box appears. If the user-defined collections are not enabled, the User-Defined Collections are not enabled dialog box appears. Agents can also be enabled for user-defined collections through the Connection Details view. To enable and configure the creation of user-defined collections, click Edit Credentials. The Edit Credentials for User-Defined Collections dialog box opens. Select whether to perform the collection using existing agent credentials or by creating dedicated credentials. If the user-defined collections are to be enabled using dedicated credentials, type the requested username and password, and then click OK. The Applying Modified Settings progress bar is displayed. If the modified settings are successfully applied, the Add a User-Defined Collection dialog box opens. Click Set Details. The Set Collection Details dialog box opens. Enter a name in the collection name field. Enter a brief description of the collection in the collection description field. This is optional. Paste the query's SQL text in the query text field. Type a value in seconds in the query timeout field. Use the start time field to define the time when the collection starts running. This is optional. If the start time field is left empty, the collection will start working immediately. The start time can only be defined using the wizard. After the collection starts working, at the time defined using the start time field, it will continue to run according to its defined frequency and can only be disabled. Click Verify. The collection is verified by running the query on each of the currently selected agents. After the verification process is complete, the verification results pop-up appears, indicating whether the collection was verified successfully. In case the collection verification fails, the relevant error message is displayed. If the verification succeeds on at least one agent, the collection details are displayed on the table. Column name is the name of the column. Column type is the field type as retrieved by the query. This can be string, integer, and so on. Data storage display name is the column's display name. Type is the topology type for storage purposes. This type can be one of the following: string, integer, double, boolean, and date. Unit of measurement is the metric's unit of measurement. The possible measurement units values are percent, count, millisecond, second, minute, hour, day, byte, kilobyte, megabyte, and gigabyte. Aggregation is used for defining the value that is displayed in this metric out of several values that were returned in a relevant time range. The available aggregation values are as is, which is the value of the last sample taken during the selected time range, sum, which is the summarized value of all samples taken during the selected time range, and average, which is the average value of all samples taken during the selected time range. Is key indicates whether the field is the query's key for retrieval. This is useful for queries when more than one row is retrieved. Note that the fields are indicated as keys should correspond with the data result set of unique values. Selecting a field which has frequently changing and repeating results as a key is allowed, but may result in unexpected behavior from the defined collection. Configure to use IntelliProfile. Select True in this column to enable the collection of baseline statistics for this metric. Except for the column name and the column type fields, whose name are retrieved by the query and cannot be changed, all of the other fields can be edited by clicking any of them. The Edit Collection Properties dialog box appears, allowing you to edit the values of the following parameters: display name, type, unit of measurement, and aggregation. When the frequently modified checkbox is selected, which is the default state, the field's change history is kept, including the use of optional functionality such as the IntelliProfile mechanism and aggregation type selection. Clearing this checkbox is recommended only for fields whose values change infrequently, such as IP address of a specific host, as storing the change history of such fields is highly CPU intensive and may degrade the FMS performance. In addition, the collection sampling frequencies are displayed on the table at the bottom of the screen and can be edited by clicking any of them. Ensure that all the settings are appropriate and click OK to finish the collection query creation process. The newly created collection now appears on the table. Click the Save Changes button to save the user-defined collection to the system. At the bottom of the panel, an additional option is available to clone an existing user-defined collection from one agent to another agent. In order to view the newly defined user-defined collections, return to the database dashboard. Enter the Overview drill-down page for one of the database agents that were configured with a user-defined collection. Select User-Defined and then Collections. Each collection is listed in the left column, and the display values can be viewed for the last sample and the selected period. To learn more about Foglight for databases, visit support.quest.com. For quick support questions, follow us on Twitter @QuestExperts.